All right, and we begin this hour in the Western Cape because Anglican Archbishop Thabo Makgoba is teaming up with the Gift of the Givers, we understand, to assess the situation at Mfuleni following a fire that took place at the weekend. 2 people have died, hundreds others have been left homeless. The church also provided assistance to affected pupils. Mariska Botha is part of our team, live to us at the scene now, and she joins us live. And it's a great tragedy to befall anyone, especially during the Easter holiday. How's the community there faring, Mariska?
Well, it's been some devastating scenes we saw here this morning. As you mentioned there, the Anglican Church is here. Archbishop Thabo Makgoba is on a site visit. We're just waiting for him to join us to speak to him. But we saw him speaking to a woman that was affected here, and she was severely distraught. It's very, very sad scenes. But as you can see behind me, people have already started reconstruction of their little dwellings. But let's speak to the Arch now. He's just joined us, Archbishop Thabo Makgoba of the Anglican Church. Good morning, Archbishop. Talk to us about some of the scenes you saw here.
Good morning, Mariska. Good morning to your viewers. Some of the scenes that I've seen here are quite devastating. I thought I came out of Easter feeling recharged and joyous. But coming back here, it feels like a long Good Friday. God's people have lost everything. And somebody says, I've even lost hope. My shirt burned when I was away in church and praising God and saying, maybe things will be better. And I was talking to another lady who her tears were uncontrollable, and I was trying not to throw my tears at her because I was just crying inside, devastated. And my hope is there are documentations like ID, Home Affairs will be here and process those quickly and let them have an ID, because the refrain has been, we want to belong, we belong to South Africa, but our documents are not with us, and we can't travel very far to go and get those IDs. And some of them are saying the SASSA grants needs to be processed. They had bought with their last SASSA income Easter groceries, and the groceries has burned down. So they have absolutely nothing. Gift of the Givers has been excellent as always. They've come alongside and are here. Ali is here. They are feeding God's people. They've got other resources for them. They've ensured that they are placed in different schools. So I say to South Africans, city disaster management, provincial government, national government, and all God-loving South Africans, please, let's hear this need. Let's provide the necessary zinc, wood, nails, so that God's people can have shelter. But let's also deal with the issue of terrible sanitation here. Yeah. Somebody who's partially blind showed me a toilet paper and said, the toilets are very far, but I have to be here to guard my zinc so that nobody steals them. And if nature calls, I have to quickly rush. And because I'm partially blind, I have to navigate myself through these alleys. And it is very devastating. But I remain hopeful, and I know that South Africans will hear their plea, and maybe come and help build proper houses rather than the structures which are being rebuilt, as you can see, yes, with zinc that has burned down, with holes, and the rains are going to come, and the rains are going to, once again, take the structure that is compromised, and then the pain is multiplied.
Thank you, Archbishop. Thank you very much. We're also going to speak briefly to Gift of the Givers. Thank you for your time. The Archbishop is continuing on his site visit, trying to bring some comfort to people, and he's been stopping and taking a moment at different spots where people lost everything. As I said, we witnessed those scenes of people crying when the Archbishop was speaking to them. We also have with us Ali Sablé of Gift of the Givers. Good morning, Ali. As usual, we find you here at the site where there's utter human devastation. How are you supporting here?
Gift of the Givers teams are supporting not only this fire, the other two fires. Simultaneously, we're providing them hot meals, blankets, hygiene packs, baby care packs. The main concern for them was, even when they're back in the structures, they do not have the necessary food to carry on for the next few months. So we have informed them until they are back on their feet, we will be here providing them assistance. We are providing them daily with hot meals. And once their structures are up, we will be assisting each family with a food hamper. We have a commitment now from the Anglican Church, and we'd like to thank the Archbishop and the Anglican Church. They made them a commitment for each and every child that was affected by the fire. They will be providing each child with school uniform and stationery. And we'd like to thank the community leaders and the parents for sending the children to school today, not having them miss out on this important day of schooling. As we know, the new term starts today, but unfortunately it's been a very bleak day for this family. There's still total devastation here, total depression, and we hope in the next coming few days there can be some closure for these families in terms of building materials, some housing issues. The Archbishop has raised the issue of water and sanitation, most importantly the ID documents. Some of them have informed us they cannot access their Qurans because they do not have the necessary documents in place. But from our side, we have given a commitment to all three fire sites. We will be there for the next few days to look after the humanitarian needs.
Of course, we see this all too often, and winter is around the corner, so we know that the potential for fire danger is there. What is your appeal as Gift of the Givers, as an aid organisation out there for communities, but also to government?
Most definitely, Mariska. If you look at it, they are building their material with what was left over from the fire material. Yeah. There is holes all over. If winter comes, 100% this area will be flooded. There's not proper ways for the water to escape. Informal settlements are growing. It's not the ideal life, and it's not the dignified way for people to live. We see these people will suffer, as speaking to community leaders, a double disaster. First is the fires now, winter comes guaranteed, the places will be flooded. Yes. And we just hope the only solution is permanent housing. That's the only dignified way for these people to live in. We have spoken to grandmothers who informed us as their 6th or 7th fire. They pray to God not to let their families experience the fire. Their families have experienced the fire, not for their grandchildren to experience the fire. They have experienced the fire. They said they are tired. They do not know what the next day holds, or when they close their eyes, will they be in a decent home.
And we also understand that 2 people passed away in this fire. Do you know if there's any assistance for those families who lost loved ones?
Okay, we have spoken to the community leaders. They're still trying to get the necessary documentation in place for them to have a dignified burial. Home Affairs is busy with that issue currently. Thereafter, the community has asked for some assistance towards the funeral and to have them to have a dignified funeral. We will be sitting with them to see how we can assist those families at the moment. But a lot of these families require trauma counseling, yes, especially the young children. You could see the trauma as soon as they hear a bottle for someone shouting, they would jump up in a frenzy thinking that there's another fire occurring. So the main concern is they have asked us to ask the relevant arms of government if they could, for their documentation, for their medication, and of course for trauma counseling.
Has the City of Cape Town been to the site?
Yes, they have been here. The city disaster risk management teams have been here from day one. Thank you to them as well for being active on all 3 fire sites. All credit due to the City of Cape Town Fire Department, who had their hands full over the last 12 hours of all 3 fires, but they have been on scene. Thereafter, I do not know what the next plan of action is from the roles of government, but from our side, there is a commitment to assist this family with humanitarian needs until they're back on their feet.
Thank you very much. That's Alisa Blay of Gift of the Givers. He's the face that we always see at horrible disasters such as these. You heard there that people are concerned about their SASSA payouts because they do not have ID documentation anymore, and there's an appeal to government to assist this community as soon as possible to aid them in being able to access documentation so that they can do what they need to do to get through the next month at least. I'm going to step out of shot so you can see how people are actively starting to rebuild. It's one of those things that we've witnessed 1,000 times. The resilience of communities like this, the devastation, and immediately after that, plans are in place and work begins to rebuild what is possible to ensure that they have shelter. As you know, winter is the rainfall season in the Western Cape, and as both Archbishop Thabo Makgoba said and Alisa Blay, as soon as the rain starts coming, this area where this informal structure is built in Mfuleni it's completely sand. There's sand everywhere. there's simply no strong ground that this stands on, and just about 20 meters from where I'm standing, there's a small little river flowing by here, so this area is definitely at risk of being flooded. And with that sad news, we go back to you in the studio for now.
It's an absolutely distressing, even though a common sight there in Mfuleni. Mariska Botha, part of our team in that community for now. Thanks very much indeed.